Quick break. We're brought to you by the great folks at Pitch Roofing, one of our new sponsors, Pitch Roofing. Pitchroofing.com is where you can find their page. And here's a great deal. If you get a roof estimate from Pitch Roofing, you'll get in the drawing for 2 of their lightning tickets in the Mark, which is the all-inclusive club, liquor, beer, wine, incredible food, anything you would ever want. They got carving stations, Italian food stations, Mexican food stations, barbecue. The brisket barbecue they have is absolutely amazing. Desserts, charcuterie, chicken tenders, of course, all kinds of incredible food in the Mark. So you can get in for 2 tickets to the Mark if you get a roofing estimate from Pitch Roofing. Great folks over there. And one of the things I love about them is they always tell you to get 2 or 3 estimates and make sure they're one of them. Because when they come out, they're not just going to give you an estimate for the roof and ask you, hey, we're going to give the lowest bidder here and we want the job. No, that's a red flag. There's lots of those guys that are going to rip you off. Pitch Roofing does not do that. Look at their 5-star reviews. Great folks over there. So go to pitchroofing.com and have them come out and give you an estimate on a new roof. I think we have Mr. Hagan here right now. So let's go to him. Ken, can you hear me?
Hey, buddy, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Perfect. Yes, I do. I've got you. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you jumping on. We were just getting ready to go to break, but this is even better. How are you? I caught a little bit of the meeting, and it looks super positive. What were your thoughts on what you saw today?
I am extremely encouraged by today's press event. This is I've been at this like you for 16 years or so, and this is the first time that a governor has publicly come out in support for a raised ballpark. And he was very adamant about baseball being in Tampa Bay. He said that Tampa Bay deserves baseball and baseball will succeed here. And so I don't know how you cannot be really encouraged by today's event.
Yeah, I'm that's what wasn't even there for the whole thing, but I'm getting, reports on Twitter. I know everybody who listens to this show, and you've been so kind to come on, you've kept us abreast of this for so long. So a lot of it was not new to you. Could you just kind of go over the financing things that were at kind of leaked out yesterday? And it's a lot of what we've been talking about, but it's still a lot of people need to be educated on this, Ken, as far as how this taxing structure will work. Can you go over that a little bit?
Yeah. First of all, I want to be upfront in that negotiations have not formally begun. We've still been in a fact-finding mode, collecting information. We're still waiting on a couple bits of their development performance stuff before we can really start to sit down and negotiate. But we're looking at a number of sources, most of which would be paid for by tourists and by visitors of either the ballpark or the development. That with likely some CIT funding that was not available during our last several attempts. And one thing I want to stress that any CIT funding would not come from any project that was already planned or anything of that nature. So it wouldn't, again, we wouldn't remove any already planned project. Probably those sources in creating a CRA, a similar type model as before, where the development that occurs, part of that goes into, would go into the to help pay for the ballpark. It's the but-for model. But for this ballpark, none of this development would occur.
Right.
And as an example, the area HCC site sits into the Drew Park CRA, and we established that in 2006. And 20 years later, it barely generates any revenue at all because there's been absolutely no growth in this area. So when you know that, and then you see the vision of what will be built there, and then you get a better understanding of the revenue that will be generated and the growth that will occur, it's hard to push back on the but-for model because it wouldn't happen. It hasn't happened 20 years.
Right.
So
right.
It's likely not going to happen for another 20 years.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it would be based. But candidly, we have not gotten to the point where we've sat down and say, okay, here's what we've come up with, but we're getting real close, and that's going to happen in the next couple weeks. I can tell
All
you.
right, beautiful. So we'll get to that another time. Let's focus more on what happened today. And, and I think this is a monumental day. And to your point, we've never had a governor come here and say all these great things. And having him as kind of spearheading today's announcement, what does that mean in terms of political will for county and city commissioners? I mean, I would guess that it means that, you've got some powerful people working on this that want it to happen. So it gives you a lot of momentum here locally as well. Is that true?
I think the impact of the governor being supportive, being here today, is immeasurable, because again, that's never happened. And when you have the leader of the state in support of this partnership, in support of this ownership group, and again, the state and the team have not finalized what their commitment will be, but let's start with the land, which when it's fully developed is going to be worth quite a bit when you consider infrastructure improvements and improvements to HCC and different things that are going to happen there. The state's going to be involved in this. Again, they've never been involved in one of our ballpark efforts. So the fact that the state's involved, the governor's supportive, really, we have a lot of momentum right now, and I'm certainly encouraged.
What did you hear from Rob Manfred? I mean, we've never had a governor and the commissioner here touting a project either together. What did you hear from him that you liked?
Well, he reinforced what he has told me privately through the years, that Tampa Bay was a very important market for Major League Baseball. He is extremely supportive of this particular ownership group, which I also knew that, but he pointed out the difference between this group and the previous group is that there's considerable local and state investors as part of the ownership group. Again, that didn't happen before. So he was extremely positive, both when I got a chance to speak with him before the actual event and then during the event. But it really complimented what Governor Sanders said, and it's really hard, not to be encouraged and optimistic when you hear such strong support from both the governor and Commissioner Manfred.
Ken Hagan joining us now, Hillsborough County Commissioner, been point man for getting the Rays over in Tampa Bay. I don't think I've heard you this giddy in a while. I mean, you really, because it's been such a long slog. I mean, today is kind of a demarcation point, I think, where we've gone from, I really think this is going to work to damn, it's going to work. I mean, it's going to work. What's behind that optimism?
Well, first of all, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say, several times I got a few, chills throughout the conference just for, how confident and how, frankly, energetic it makes me feel to hear Commissioner and the governor and Ken Babby, one of the owners, and my buddy Dr. Atwater from HCC all speak in support of this project. And having worked on this for so long and thought we had a chance several other times, I can tell you I've never felt as confident as I am right now. Again, I got to preface that by saying that obviously the devil's in the details, and we haven't laid out the exact framework. And once that happens, the naysayers and the haters will certainly jump on board, and there'll be blood in the water at that point.
Yeah.
But again, the fact that there's so much support from the public sector, from the governor, from a lot of the ownership group, and frankly the business community as well. I think when that continues to increase, and it really provides support, I think, for the elected officials to know that, I mean, there are folks out there that are always going to oppose this. They'd oppose it if we were giving them $1 or if we were giving them paying for the whole thing. It doesn't matter. They just don't want to hear anything about it. They don't see the value in sports. They don't see the value of the development. And And so you really just have to discount those folks
Yeah.
and try and appeal to those that see the big picture, can appreciate a generational project that is transformative and will be the biggest project, in Hillsborough County's history.
Hmm.
And I think you could combine uh, Water Street, you could combine Midtown, and probably a couple other projects, and collectively they wouldn't add up to the
Right.
economic impact of this project.
And these guys, and so the $2.3 billion price tag that was leaked out, I was told that was kind of a misunderstanding, and that Eric Hart, who's quoted in that, was like, no, that's not a solid number. It could end up being that, but we don't. Nobody knows what the number is right now. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's not a solid number. That number has come up in our discussions. We are certainly going to do our best to value engineer that number, and we have our our team of folks that analyze the development, analyze the ballpark numbers. We did it for the last couple of efforts as well, and just to have some checks and balances, because
Yeah.
you never assume that what the the private sector is proposing, irrespective of what the project is. You don't just take the numbers and agree to it. You have to do your own due diligence and check all the boxes and see if they add up, and so that could potentially be a little bit lower. God forbid it's higher. Certainly, I hope not, but it's not firm by any means.
Right. What did you hear from Ken Babby?
I tell you, I don't know if I've met a more optimistic
I
person
know.
in my life.
I
And
just said that. I said I couldn't even hear him talking, but just when he gets up there, his smile and his nonverbal, like this guy's he's the face of the franchise from the ownership standpoint. That's a huge
yeah, I,
upgrade.
I mean, I'll start with, he's extremely disarming, number one, but he's just so optimistic,
Yeah.
so confident. And I even told our county administrator several weeks ago in one of the discussions, and we're going back and forth, and I said, Bonnie, this guy makes me feel more confident about it. I mean, he has that impact and that influence, and it's genuine. I mean,
Yeah.
some people, may come across that way, but it's not sincere. It's not genuine.
Right.
But I 100% uh, believe what he's saying, and it's hard not to embrace this really once in a lifetime project, especially when you have leaders like Ken Babby. And on a personal note, he said that I could tell you that he's looking to getting together with you soon. So just know that as well.
Oh, awesome. Good to hear. Good to hear. I can't wait,
and,
Ken.
and,
Cannot
and,
wait to have
and,
you on
and
our
again,
podcast.
and
Yeah.
again, both I spoke with Ken and Patrick beforehand, and both are so genuinely appreciative of your efforts through the years. And I told him, I said, frankly, myself and JP have taken more arrows than anyone throughout this process, and no one's fought harder. And they genuinely appreciate you and recognize that. And so that's why I think at the right time they definitely want to get together with you.
Can't wait for that time. And I've been waiting patiently, and I obviously appreciate all their efforts. And we'll both say this: it's never been about me or you. It's about Tampa Bay and what was best for Tampa Bay. And this is what's always been best for Tampa Bay. And nothing against St. Pete. We love St. Pete. And when this is said and done, stadium will be here, and they're going to have some incredible convention center, whatever they're going to build there. That's going to totally benefit that community so much more than what they were going to do with the baseball stadium. So, and that's great. A last question. You mentioned Dr. Atwater. I think, the negative people that have written stories about, oh, this is so horrible, what's happening to Hillsborough County. The Rays are coming in here and taking this campus away from students who have used this great facility. What's going to happen with Hillsborough College in the end? This is going to be a great benefit for them, correct?
100%. Dr. Atwater is a very close friend of mine. We're golfing buddies. He takes money from me every time, and I still keep going back. I'm a glutton for punishment. But honestly, the first couple of meetings that Dr. Atwater had with the Rays representatives, they weren't positive. And we'd get together, and he's like, "This can't work. They're playing. I'm not going to be supportive." And when I walked in his office today, where we met beforehand, he was giddy. I mean, he said what this is going to mean for the college. It's going to be additional square footage. It's going to end up saving the state and the college money over the years, because a couple of those buildings are really old, and the
Yeah.
maintenance that's required to keep them up to date. It's going to be more opportunities for internships and workforce programs. And so he is 100% supportive of this. And I've gotten a few emails too about how it's going to destroy HCC. And I got to tell you, what I've seen, and from talking to Dr. Atwater and the owners, this is going to be such a benefit for the college. It's going to be the development. It's going to be baked into the development, the overall development, and it's just going to be super exciting and super cool. And I tell you, Dr. Atwater's all in.
Well, Ken, this is awesome. Thank you for joining us at this such important day and momentous day. The good fight has been long, but it's going to be awesome when you and me and Big O sit in the JP draft room in center field there in the new stadium doing our podcast as we overlook center field and share an IPA.
Hey, first round's on me. All right, first round's on me.
Sounds great, Ken. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. We'll be in touch.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Thanks. Ken Hagan.